Hey guys, so I just thought it'd be a great idea for the first video to go through what is in the pack so everybody can understand and kind of have an idea of what all of these items are for and what I'm actually taking with me starting tomorrow. So we fly out for Atlanta and I thought it'd be a good chance to do it the day before so everyone can see what's going on. So to start off with, one of the more important pieces is what we're carrying everything in. So that's going to be this Osprey bag over here. It's the Viva 65 liter. It's just the one that I've been using since I started backpacking. So it's the one that's going to be going with me. I've loved it since I got it and don't have any problems with it. So it's the one that's staying. Next up, I have my Big Agnes Fly Creek UL2. It's the tent over here. It's very compact, weighs a little bit over 2 pounds together for everything with it. But that's going to be my shelter. And then I also have the footprint here, and that is just meant to go onto the ground to protect the tent from getting any holes or anything in it or dirty from being straight directly on the ground. So that is the purpose of that. Next up, we have our sleep system. So this is the Thermarest ProLite Women's Plus sleeping pad, which basically it's not like a mattress per se, but it'll inflate to about an inch thick, so it just keeps my back off the ground and keeps me from being cranky in the morning with back pain. So that's really cool. It's self-inflating, but you can also use the nozzle up top to inflate it and get it done a little bit quicker that way yourself. So next would be the Nemo Rave, which is my sleeping bag over here. It is a 30-degree Fahrenheit bag, or a -1 degree Celsius bag. What that means is that up to 30 degrees if it's outside. If it's 30 degrees, I should still be warm sleeping in that bag. On top of it here though, since we are starting in Georgia and it is March, it's still going to be cold there. Last couple of days I think it's been 20 degrees or so at nighttime, but that is a sleeping bag liner. It's the Thermarest reactor fabric. So that adds an extra 15 degrees to whatever I am sleeping in, which if it's in that 30-degree bag, that means that I can sleep in 15-degree weather and still remain warm while I'm sleeping. So for now, as we're starting out, that's going to be what I'm going with for sleep system. And next, we've got all of the cook stuff. So most important part of that is going to be food. And that is in my Sea to Summit bag over here. That's a 13-liter bag. It's also referred to as a bear bag. I'm sure some of you have seen. But that is what goes into the trees at night to keep all the fun critters away from camp and carry all the food and all the fun smelling stuff. Other than that, we've got our cook pouch here. This is something I simply just made myself to keep insulation going while I'm cooking. Anything, I don't have to waste as much fuel by cooking it in the pot because I can just pour the water once it's boiling into the packaging, put the package in there, and it's good to go. Next is my awesome cook pot. I just got this, and this is the Sea to Summit X Kettle Pot, and as you can see, it's collapsible on itself. It's got silicone walls there and a nice little lid that's also lightweight, but pops up really nicely there, goes straight onto your fire source and cooks all your good food for you. For my cook system here, I've got the MSR, just the pocket rocket. It's what I've used since I started backpacking and it's always worked well for me, with fuel of course. And this would be my Z-Packs line for my bear line, so that is super lightweight, just to hang up the bear bag at nighttime. And of course a lighter, probably a backup lighter as well, just to make sure that I've got that so I can cook my food. And next would be my Sawyer squeeze. This has a hollow fiber membrane on the inside, so water comes in here dirty. You can scoop it with the bag, which is what I have here. Goes through and then filters out the end clean and clear for you. I've used that on a couple different trips so far, and it works wonders just as expected. Other than that, we're going to have, of course, the AT guide. That's got everything from the shelters you're going to stay in, food resupply towns, water sources, anything you need, it's going to be in that book. A lot of people also use the Gut Hook app now as well to keep it on their phones, but I'm going with the paper version. For everything below it, that is my electronics. I've got lots of chargers for, of course, the GoPro, which I'm using now. I've got an iPod shuffle. There's this little guy over here to take for music. This is just a stick pick. It's from just a cottage company, but those actually fit on the end of your trekking poles so that you can take pictures like a selfie stick. Or in this case, I've got the mount so that the GoPro can go on that as well. I've got a RAV Power charger over here. It's got 10,000 mAh, which is just a more of a quick charge device, so that's pretty cool, and it's super lightweight for what it is. Other than that, I've got my Black Diamond headlamp. It is the Spot, which is 300 lumens, which will let me see 80 meters ahead of myself if it's dark out with that, which is super helpful, especially at night when you're night hiking. And this is my first aid / toiletries breakdown. I've got some Dr. Bronner's soap for cleaning and all of the good stuff that entails. Some Neosporin if there's any cuts or scrapes along the way. And this is not your mother's. This is actually just a bottle I got for a penny at Target because the product was entirely empty out of it, but I needed a smaller bottle. So they gave it to me for a penny to put some miracle oil, which is a healing agent, into that instead of carrying the glass bottle that it came in. I've also got some chapstick, the toothbrush, toothpaste, all travel size, a thing of floss here, and then some good old clippers that are super lightweight and fold out there. We've also got the toiletries down here, so one-stop shop. Got some wet wipes, some hand sanitizer, feminine products, and some good old TP there. Other than that, we've got our medicine mix of ibuprofen, multivitamins that I'm not sure if I'm going to continue to take, but I'm at least going to start out with them. And some other allergy pills as well, just in case those are needed along the way. And just for fun, I would say this is a luxury item, but a friend of mine bought me some mini playing cards that are waterproof and super lightweight. So those are going to come just for the days where we want to do something and keep ourselves entertained. So for all of the electronics and then also for the sleep clothes that I'm going to go into, they're all going to live in this 3-liter Osprey bag. This is just to keep them safe if for any reason water does get through my bag and the trash compactor bag. That's supposed to be keeping everything dry in there. So this is backup so that the electronics and sleep clothes are always dry, because that is super important, of course. Other than that, we've got the Thermarest Z-Seat. This works as literally just something to sit on that's not the ground, and it's also going to be a super cool windshield if it's a windy day and I'm trying to cook some food and having any issues with that. So double usage for that guy there. And now we're on to the clothing system. So for cold weather, of course, which is what we're starting out in, I've got myself just a nice hat here because this is my Arc'teryx down jacket, which does not have a hood, so that hence why the hat is so important to that setup. If it is raining or windy and super cold, on top of this I've also got my frog togs. So there's a jacket. I'm going to start out with the pants and see how I feel about it I'm sure they'll probably get ditched along the way somewhere, but just to keep myself warm in the event that it is raining or super cold, that's just an extra shell to put on top of everything else. The sleep clothes, like I mentioned, that go into the bag, I've just got a workout tank top, and these are actually total knockout pants from Victoria's Secret. They're super lightweight. They'll probably become my regular hiking leggings once it gets a little bit warmer out. However, from the start, I'm going to be starting with these, which are fleece-lined Under Armour leggings, just to keep myself a little bit more warm throughout the beginning there, as well as my long sleeve Patagonia shirt here. It's just another base layer made with polyester to keep me warm along the way. And when it's not cold, I've got my short sleeve t-shirt. It's just a Mermont, I believe. And then I've got a Patagonia pair of the barely baggy shorts that are going to be taken with me for when it's the warmer out. And of course I've got the underwear, so I go with the Ex Officio just because they are good with the long-lasting wear department, which I'm only taking 2 of those, so I can get all the help with that. Next I've got gaiters, and gaiters basically, they go over your sock and then you put your shoe on, and they'll actually attach to the shoe, and it kind of creates a barrier between the ankle of your shoe and the outside world. So if you get sticks or debris kind of trying to fall into those shoes, it deters that from happening, which is pretty cool. I've also got a pair of liner socks. These will just go below my normal socks. These are Darn Tough brand. I've got 2 pairs of those, 2 pairs of the liners, but they basically stop the friction from going straight from the sock to your foot, and therefore the friction's actually between the two, and it helps with blistering. So if you're blister prone, liners might be a good idea for you too. And up top here, I've got a buff. Basically this functions as anything you need. You can use it as a headband, you can use it as a hair tie, you can use it as a neck warmer, whatever you need, then you can make that work for you. I've got my camp shoes. These are just some Tevas that are strap-on. They're super lightweight and just going to be on the outside of my pack for whenever I'm at camp, so I don't have to be wearing my trail runners all day. I've got next my Ergo Black Diamond cork handle flick lock trekking poles. These are super great. I've used them for a couple trips now and they're awesome. I've got Gorilla tape around the side of one of them here just for any repairs that need done. If I need a bandage, it's going to work as a band-aid for me. All sorts of different functions. You can't go wrong with some good old duct tape or Gorilla tape. And then the last item over here are my trail runners. These are the Ultra Lone Peak 3.5, so it's the newest brand that they have of that at the time. I love them because they have a super big toe box. I usually have issues on my right foot, and especially on the outside of my toes there, but since the toe box is so big, I haven't had any issues so far with these guys. And they weigh about a pound, which is awesome. So I think that concludes the gear rundown. So if anybody has any questions at all, please comment that down below, and I'll get back to you with some answers or any suggestions that you have with anything. And if you like this video, please subscribe.